Hey everybody, Josh Gray here with Tidewater Pro Air. Just wanted to go over our services and actually just a category of products that we offer from Trane Heating and Air Conditioning. The reason we utilize Trane is just mostly because they have a great platform in our area, plenty of parts warehouses, equipment warehouses. Really, Virginia is a sort of a hub on the East Coast for a lot of Trane parts and equipment. And also, we are Trane comfort specialists. Not every dealer, as you can see here, is a Trane comfort specialist. Basically, we are an independent dealer committed to being the best in installation, service, customer satisfaction, and employee training. Um, there's a lot more to it, but basically, whenever you're looking for a Trane system, you always want to hire a Trane TCS dealer. Otherwise, you're getting some different equipment. You're not getting the same thing as what you can get from a comfort specialist. Anyways, we deliver the best products that Trane has to offer, and we actually custom select specific equipment from Trane to offer to all of our customers. Um, right now, we're going to talk about split system AC systems or heat pumps, basically, just the generic, like your outdoor unit here on the bottom left hand side of the screen. Um, this is a split system where you have an outdoor unit and an indoor unit, and that indoor unit can be an air handler or a gas furnace with a coil. But today we're not talking about package systems like what's on the right-hand side there. So Trane right now, as far as our condensing units for heat pumps and air conditioning, there are more models than this available from Trane, but these are the ones that we've selected. We've custom picked from Trane's lineup to be really just a good area of the different varieties that Trane has to offer. And you can kind of see they're equal. We have the minimum efficiency standard right here, the XR14, all the way up to the XV20, which is the highest efficiency that Trane has to offer at the moment. Um, and you're thinking, like, what does all this mean? You know, like XR14, XL16, XL18. Like, we have got a different looking unit here. It's just how they categorize these systems, and this is basically what they look like. If we look at the model numbers a little bit better, like the XR14 to the XV20, we want to realize what is SEER. So SEER is our seasonal energy efficiency ratio. This is basically an equation that is the cooling output of air during the typical cooling season divided by the energy it uses in watt hours. Some people might also call it the seasonal energy efficiency rating, but ratio is the proper term. That doesn't really matter. A C rating is only based on the efficiency of an AHRI matched system. Now, with that, AHRI is the Air Conditioning, Heating, and Refrigeration Institute. So these people actually make they test the equipment to verify that the equipment is producing the efficiency that it's supposed to. Now, this always has a lot to do with how the equipment is installed. There's tons, like one outdoor condensing unit has hundreds of AHRI matches from the same manufacturer. So like a condensing unit that would work with an air handler, it might work with 8 different air handlers that are completely different styles. It may work with different coils and different furnaces in that application. But we want to know that our equipment is AHRI matched because that's just kind of the rating system as to why they're manufactured. Our first group of systems here is the XR14 and the XL16. Both of these systems have a single stage compressor, similar to probably the air conditioning system you had installed in the 90s in the home you're living in, whatever the case. It's just a single speed compressor. It turns on to cool, turns off to stop cooling. In a heat pump model, obviously it's heating, but this is the workhorses of Trane, the XR14 and the XL16. They're very simple construction with limited controls. In other words, there's not a whole lot of digital technology built into these systems. They're just a very simple piece of equipment. Based on comparisons with the old 1990s 10 SEER models, the XR14 is about 30% more efficient. And the XR16 is close to 40% more efficient. So you can see those two SEER points is about 10% difference in efficiency when compared to a 10-SEER 1990s builder's grade system. The next step up here, we have the XL18, which is a two-stage operation compressor. That just means that the compressor has a low speed and a high speed. We call that two-stage operation. And typically we've always said uh, the more stages you have, the more comfortable you can be, because the equipment itself can actually match the temperature that you're looking for in the house. Yeah, it's a great control system on the XL18. It's very simply operated, and very robust. Good system. Based on comparisons with 1990s models like the 10-SEER that I was talking about, the XL18 is about 45% more efficient. So that's pretty awesome. Next up, we have the XV20, which is a variable speed compressor. It automatically adjusts to the load, and it's a great system. This thing has hundreds of stages of comfort because the level of RPMs of the compressor can actually go from, like, I think the minimum 6% speed all the way up to 115% capacity. So it does a really good job. It does use a specialized control system called the Comfort Link 2 control system that is actually a data connection between the thermostat, the air handler or furnace to the outdoor unit. So this does not use conventional 24-volt wiring like all the other systems do. But yeah, we can see this is 64% more efficient, and this is all based on 3-ton models, which is about the midway point. Saving energy is great, and high efficiency systems will save you money, but what does it cost? At what point do we weigh the options that these things are worth it? A couple things that you may not want to worry about high efficiency options if you are planning on selling or renting your home in the next 5 to 10 years. Your ducting system is not adequate and you choose not to take that expense. So say you have some old ductwork and it really needs to be replaced because the insulation's worn out. It may be in the crawl space. It might even be in the attic. And it's just from the 70s or 80s and you want a newer system. Well, at Tidewater Pro Air, if the ducting system does not meet the requirements of the higher efficiency systems, then we cannot install that equipment. So it's a very important process. If your home is not sealed properly and is very drafty, needs insulation or windows, it may not be a good idea to go with high efficiency because it's just not going to be very efficient. It's going to be running all the time, and it may need to be sized larger, which is not always a good thing. And then the last reason would probably be because your budget does not allow for the expense of the higher efficiency options, and that's okay. Remember, sizing of your equipment should always be done by a professional. We use what's called manual J load calculations, and this actually tells us exactly, by the science, not by a guess, tells us exactly how many BTUs your system is required for heating and for air conditioning. When we actually go through and perform an estimate, even on a retrofit system, when we're replacing existing equipment, we still want to go through and check the duct sizing, check the manual J load calculation on the house. And if we're building a new duct system, we have to do a manual D calculation, shows us the sizing of the ductwork, and then the manual S will actually tell us exactly what size system to attach to that duct system. So it's pretty cool. Air conditioning only works as well as it's installed. So if you have an installer that is not very experienced and try to install a high efficiency system, it's just not going to do a very good job. For all varied efficiency systems, all equipment must be AHRI matched. So if you have a different brand outdoor unit with a different brand indoor unit, there is no AHRI match for that system. So it's very important that your air conditioning system, to get the efficiency that it's telling you, it's very important that it's a matched system. So that brand outdoor unit should have that brand or AHRI matched indoor equipment. Also, one just little tip, take advantage of extended labor warranties. All HVAC systems are man-made. All of the products that are assembled in the United States are just assembled by hand. They put it all together. Things happen. All of this equipment is delivered on trucks. They fall over sometimes. Maybe there's something that wasn't seen during installation and has a problem 2 years later, and requires a large thing to be done, such as a compressor replacement, whatever the case. That extended labor warranty is going to help you out a ton, because I mean a compressor replacement, just labor, can be up to $1,200 or $1,500 depending on the system. So that, an extended labor warranty will help you out more than you know. And if you never have to use it, great. That's awesome. And then the system was installed properly. We're going to do another video next week, and we're going to go over the different models of furnaces and possibly air handlers at the same time, just to kind of match up with these condensing unit changes. But if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call, 757-655-1247. You can also go to our website, tidewaterproair.com. Either way, thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.